If you have Power G sensors, typically they're going to be with a DSC Neo here at Alltech, or possibly the Qualys IQ2 Plus or the IQ4. And you need to change the battery and you'd like to do it yourself. First of all, feel free to Google or search YouTube with the sensor number. So these are the most common door window sensors we use now, and it's a PG9303. You can search that. You can get the cut sheet from DSC, or you can see YouTube videos from different alarm companies. Most of them are going to give you decent information, and I'm sure a lot of them are going to be better than anything we'd be able to do. But the bottom line is, you always want to be careful with the sensors. You don't want to bend the plastic cases when you're taking off covers, things like that, because plastic can break. So follow the instructions. Seems like a nickel works best, but you can, if you have access, you can get at the coin slot, and the coin slides right in, and you got to have a good firm, see, the quarter doesn't work really well, but we got one corner up. And another way that I'll usually use is just a small flat tip screwdriver. You may not have access to both sides, but once you get both sides popped, you lift off the cover, and then here is your battery. It's a CR2450, so make sure you get those. They require Panasonic batteries, so it's right here on the cut sheet. I would always shoot for that if I were going to try to replace the batteries as best I could. And you really don't want to unnecessarily be opening these covers. So once we replace the battery, another thing I'll notice that every wireless sensor has, there's a small, I don't know if it'll even focus, there's a small little sealed glass tube. That's where the reed switch is for the contacts, and that's why you don't want to be prying and bending at the case. Then, once you have the sensor back, everything will go fine. It will correct its own issue after a couple of minutes, after it talks to the keypad, the trouble goes away. So that's the 9303. What we do use is, if you have a hard time, there may be, on occasion, there may be some silicone around the outside of the sensor. If we feel like it's put in a location where it might get banged, beat up, knocked off accidentally, or it's got curved molding that we're attaching the sensor to, a lot of times we'll do that. You can scrape off the molding. If you can't get the case open without causing too much damage, you can gently pry it off with a putty knife, but remember, don't bend it. And then clean off the old two-sided tape. And then this is what we use. It's overkill, but we don't want these things falling off because that could be a false alarm. So, you can grab that at Lowe's or Home Depot. Cut it to fit. Put the sensor back in place. Make sure it's oriented properly. You have the little line that has to line up with the magnet. And as long as you follow the rules I've just given you, you should be good to go. And these sensors, as long as you're careful, they'll last a very long time. And as long as you get good quality batteries, they'll last a very long time. Thanks.